Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified what is going on. So today, NYSAC, New York Athletic State Commission has ruled and deemed the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight to be a no contest. So meaning that Devin Haney will now have his old back that he so preciously wanted to have back and has been petitioning and calling all the channels and trying to get himself back to undefeated record. Now, here's the thing. You do have to understand as a creator that he is a fighter, right? And at the end of the day, he does feel cheated. He feels cheated because think about it. He said, "I've never been beat this bad in my life. I've never in my life been beaten that bad." And for Ryan Garcia to do that to me, it had to be something. So he's obviously questioning something have had been happening in the background for him to have lost to Ryan Garcia in that fashion. Now, a lot of fans could tell you that Devin Haney's just not that great. And then Ryan Garcia was his is really his kryptonite. And Ryan Garcia just is faster, he's more athletic, he's better. And this was from a Ryan Garcia. A lot of people would be like, he was a C plus fighter before that fight, right? That he was a C plus fighter before the Devin Haney fight. But one thing that we all knew was his left hook was for real and the speed was real. And those were the things that he utilized inside of that ring when he fought Devin Haney and he beat Devin Haney that night. Those were the things that he utilized. But can you blame Devin Haney for feeling cheated? Can you really blame him for any of that? I can't blame him. I can't sit there and blame him because at the end of the day, if you felt like you've never been beaten that bad and you never gotten an ass whipping that bad, you're in your mind, you're trying to replay and say, this just couldn't have happened, you know. And then it comes out that the reports say that there was PDs in the system, and and now you're just like, oh yeah, see, I knew it. But in reality, though, it's a bigger play. You know what I mean? To be honest, is conspiracy theories going on out there. A lot of this stuff looks sketchy. I don't think that Devin Haney is a clean fighter as well. I think that Devin Haney in that snack program is definitely a part of something bigger than what we really think. I don't think that this is just as simple as Ryan Garcia cheated. This is more of a very weird. It's a very weird scenario to think about. But Devin Haney now has his own back. But in the eyes of the people, there was thousands and millions of people that watched that fight. And millions of people can't take that out of their brain. The fight will live on in people's head rent free for the rest of your life. I mean, how can you downplay it? You can't say that, oh, he had the PEDs in his system because he had a millionth of a gram in his system, a billionth of a gram, a trillionth of a gram in his system, meaning that it wasn't deemed to even be effective on the fight night. Uh, Nysack obviously just wanted to know, did he do it? Did he have anything in his system? And I mean, can you blame Nysack for deeming it a no contest? I think that bigger plays are going on in the background potentially, but can you blame them? No, because as a fighter, they always tell you you always have to check whatever you're uh taking, whatever you're using. You know what I'm saying? You have to be mindful of that. And at the end of the day, rules are rules. So if you get caught pop for something, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna take that away. And now this is where all conspiracies come in, right? Because I still feel like some type of play was going on in the background. Something is going on that we just don't know about. And there's no way that Devin Haney is the luckiest man in boxing. There's no way. You're talking about a dude that I mean, I don't know why, but he's fabricated. He is an industry plant. This is the definition of an industry plant. Even when he loses, he still wins. There is no beating Devin Haney. You know, his next fighter that he fights and gets and when he loses, it's gonna be over. They're still gonna there's gonna be another positive test. You know, and I think it'll continue on, and this dude is always just gonna feel cheated. But to be honest, um, Devin Haney said that Ryan Garcia was a C class fighter, C plus fighter. You know that he was not a good fighter. Fans were saying that he was a C plus fighter, that he was just not a good fighter. His left hook was there, but other than that, it was just all for show. In my opinion, after the Devin Haney fight, you know, obviously the way that he beat Devin Haney, it was just a different type of ass whooping. You know, a different type of ass whooping. That's the type of ass whooping that you already know that you got this dude's card. You know what I'm saying? You try to downplay Ryan Garcia, try to say that he wasn't much, but in reality, Ryan Garcia was everything but not much. You know, I think that they deemed it a known contest, which is understandable because of the fact that that's just how the sport goes. If you get caught with anything, you know they're gonna they're they're more than likely gonna suspend you and then take away your victory. You know, and unfortunately for Ryan Garcia, he needs to try to get to that fight back. You know what I'm saying? Try to get that fight, that rematch back, and beat him, and whip his ass even more. You know what I'm saying? And even stop him. Now there's reports that Devin Haney is gonna retire because Ryan Garcia is gonna retire for a year. Then there's also the he's ducking Sandor Martin. So it's a lot of plays going on here. You know, he's might be possibly ducking Sandor Martin, top ranked, won the purse bid for the Devin Haney Sandor Martin fight. So I mean, let's be honest here. You know, Devin Haney is not a champion. He is not a true champion at all. In my eyes, he's never been a true champion. This is a guy that used to parade around a belt that was emailed to him. You know, trying to take the credit from a guy that actually put in that work, and that's the distaste that it left in people's mouths. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, man. This is a guy who has very poor character. He has a very poor character, you know, and that's always been my thing with Devin Haney. I've always felt like he was had a very poor character, you know, very entitled character. And it was obviously from his upbringing, you know, and shout out to Bill Haney because, you know, his kid never had to struggle for anything or anything like that. But the entitlement has always been there. You know, he was entitled to the victory. He was entitled to this. He was entitled to that. And unfortunately for him, it just doesn't look good, you know, because you're just an entitled brat in the sport of boxing, where it's more of a blue collar, bite down on your mouthpiece and go to work type of sport. You know, that's the thing you can respect about fighters like Deontay Wilder who who want their rematch back. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to prove themselves that it was not that it was a fluke and it wasn't them. You know, at the end of the day. But a guy like Devin Haney who's emailing every single day, you know what I mean? To NISAC trying to get this dude banned from boxing. They went to the extremities, you know. They're trying to get this dude out of boxing. In my opinion, I think it's just the character, man. The character has always not been there for Devin Haney. You know, who parades around something that they didn't accomplish, you know? And then after the Ryan Garcia fight, he still says, I'm still a champion. Like, dog, come on, my brother. You just got your ass fucking whooped in that ring. What do you mean you still a champion, dog? I think that's disrespectful to the sport, man, because it's disrespectful to competition. It's disrespectful to a sport. You know what I'm saying? But granted, Ryan Garcia did come in 3 pounds over the weight limit, so it is what it is. But the WBC sanctioning body should have really said that the only person that can win that belt or retain the belt would be Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia wouldn't be able to gain it. But if Devin Haney loses, he loses the belt. But money is the root of all evil, and we know that Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC, are money hungry, so they're gonna keep their champions. You know, so it gets very tricky. It gets super tricky. I can't respect a guy like Devin Haney, and I've said it time and time again. uh from his character standpoint, I can't respect him. From what he's accomplished with the fight with George Kambosos Jr., obviously you can respect the accolade. He definitely went to Australia, defeated a guy like George Kambosos, not defeated George Kambosos. Obviously it wasn't the greatest fucking fights. It wasn't anything that George Kambosos was just a holder of the undisputed belts, and that's all he really was at the end of the day. But he still went to Australia to fight George Kambosos in his home turf, got the victory, and it is what it is. But other than that, what does Devin Haney really have to show for in his career? You know what I mean? He won the belts from George Kambosos, and then when he went up and fought Lomachenko, he lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? He lost that fight completely. And then if you go back and then the Regis Prograis fight, another weird fight, because how the fuck do you mean to tell me that Devin Haney comes in, rehydrates more than Regis Prograis, and Regis Prograis has already been in the division, stable in that division, and he's rehydrating more than Regis Prograis at a very comfortable and stable in a stable way? Just makes no sense to me, to be honest. At the end of the day, Devin Haney's career has been an industry plant career, and I can't stop saying that. He is the true definition of an industry plant. He is the type of dude that has no morals in the sport of boxing, has no competitive edge. He's not competitive, because if he was a competitive dude, he would have wanted to fight for the WBC belt against Teofimo Lopez, or any of or not being been claiming that he was a WBC champion. I mean, it was just disgusting. It was disgusting from the beginning, from the start. You didn't compete for that belt. You didn't win that belt. You are not a champion. You know, and I think that the boxing world did it a disservice as well, because we're transitioning into the sensitive era where everyone is a winner. So that's why they're trying to max all their belts, trying to make new belts. And that's the reason why a lot of fans, the political game that these sanctioning bodies are playing, that everyone is a winner, even when the guy hasn't done anything, is ridiculous, and it's just a money grab. It's them being money hungry at the end of the day. But I feel like Devin Haney is not a true champion. We'll never be able to downlive that fight against Ryan Garcia. I think that Ryan Garcia is it, after that suspension, I would like to see a rematch in that fight. I think that Ryan Garcia this time would knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove a point to everybody and possibly retire right after. But Devin Haney, in my opinion, he's ducking Sandor Martin, which that's a very good fight for a guy like Devin Haney. If you think about it, Devin Haney needs a guy like Sandor Martin. He needs somebody that doesn't have the most power. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that he could show out against. Um, and I think that Sandor Martin is definitely a good match for him. But Sandor Martin does get tricky at times. So I think that he's also seeing that possibility where Sandor Martin, he might not be all the way ready to fight a guy like Sandor Martin, who is going to pose a lot of trouble as well. He's not just a walk in the park type of dude. He's the type of dude where he'll give you different. He'll give you a very good look, and then just stick to his game plan. You know what I'm saying? And try to beat you off that. Does he have the extra gear to win the fight? Possibly not, right? And Devin Haney does. So I wonder what Devin Haney's gonna do. Now he's saying that he's not even gonna fight in a weight class that he's gonna fight. He's gonna do what he wants now. You know what I'm saying? So now they're gonna give him the leeway for him to do whatever he wants in the sport of boxing. I think that Devin Haney, he's washed now, and it's not because of he lost one fight. Nah, it's because his mentality has gone down the drain. If you look at it, the guy who's really been adamant about trying to ban this dude and this and that. I mean, like, dog, how about you just get your get back, bruh? You know what I'm saying? How about you just go out there and you petition for them to let you get in the ring as soon as possible with this guy that you feel cheated you, you know, instead of trying to say, oh, this guy cheated me and that's it, and that's just not how shit work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to fight. I mean, you gotta be able to overcome this. But do I think that Devin Haney has a shot against anybody now? I really don't. I don't think that Devin Haney at 140 pounds is gonna really have a shot. The fight with Teofimo Lopez, I mean, that's ideal for a guy like Devin Haney. But that's a very dangerous fight for him, and he knows he could potentially get knocked out by a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who's very smart and very great ring IQ. I mean, I don't think that I've been saying this for a very long time. Teofimo Lopez dog walks the shit out of Devin Haney. He does not have the fucking skills to be able to beat Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion. And I really don't think he was going to be fighting one of those top 140 pounders. I think they're going to really match him up very well. Something to gain his confidence back, because I think that one thing that he definitely got was humbled. You know what I'm saying? And, well, I don't even think so now, obviously, because obviously he's saying that he got cheated, so he's not gonna be humble. But at the end of the day, Devin Haney still got a lot to prove, man. Still got a lot to prove in the sport of boxing. He's young, and he's still got time. But I don't think mentally he's capable of being able to go inside of the ring and really he's gonna be very, 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 very gun shy. I think this might be even an Adrian Broner type of case where he's so gun shy he doesn't want to throw hands because he knows that something could potentially come back and get dropped. We've seen it with Jorge Linares. We've seen the early stage of him getting caught with a big shot and then wobbling. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that. But with a guy like Ryan Garcia, who's bigger, who you're not gonna have all the opportunities to clinch this dude, and this guy has a long reach and can keep up with you, and is young as well. It is very hard for a guy like Devin Haney. I don't think that Devin Haney beats Ryan Garcia not one bit. I think that Ryan Garcia beats him 10 times out of 10. There were 3-3s in the amateurs, and Ryan Garcia got the best of them in the pros. But let me know what y'all think, man. What do you think about this news that the fight has been deemed as a no contest? I know a lot of people don't like it. They don't like that it was a no contest. But you also gotta understand the viewpoint that he did pop, for something. He did, and even though there might be a bigger play in the background, something might have it just it's just some weird stuff might have happened. I think that at the end of the day, it wasn't enough for him to feel any types of effects inside of the ring. And I think the outcome would have been whatever the outcome was that night was gonna happen 10 times out of 10. Devin Haney didn't have the skills to be able to keep up with a guy like Ryan Garcia. And unfortunately for him, well, fortunately for him, he's the luckiest man in boxing, and they're gonna keep feeding Devin Haney the biggest BS bull crap and feeding the fans the biggest BS bull crap about this dude, where he's a B type of B class type of fighter. You know, he's not a A class, he's not a world class type fighter, he's not a generational talent. He's just a jag. And if you know what a jag is, yeah, a jag is he's just a guy. He is not anything too special. I think a lot of people give him the work. I think Teofimo Lopez beats him very easily, you know, and I don't think that he'll have any type of problems with a guy like Devin Haney, you know. But like, comment, share, subscribe, man, and we out. Peace.